Did you know that I have a Patreon page? If you want extra content, you can subscribe to my Patreon to see videos that will never be uploaded to YouTube, like this, and this, and this one here.
Wow!
My Patreon account also features brand new types of content like behind the scenes and hot takes. Patrons are also the first people notified of any changes to my schedule. Go to the first link in the description if you want even more content.
I can't hide my pain no more, this shit gon' make me lash out. I ain't playing games no more, I really might just black out. She can't feel her legs no more, I blew her fucking back out. Run up on me, bitch, on God, I blow your fucking back out. Where I'm from, this shit go down, a lot of niggas crash out. I just seen my cousin cut some work about the crack house. He ain't got nothing to lose, he might just bring the mask out. He gon' take your visa too, I hope your credit card don't max out. Watch me take some bricks and soap and turn it to a bankroll. Used to want get rich like Hogan. Billionaire advice, that's that shit that you can't pay for. Leveled up and made some pesos. Now your bitch wanna give me pesos.
Also making me relive the brutal death of Taika Waititi droid.
Pointing things out on the screen.
How can I atone?
According to Creed, one may only be redeemed in the living waters.
Oh, and by previously on The Mandalorian, I meant previously on The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Yep, they buried the setup for Season 3 of Mando in Episode 5 of Season 1 of Boba Fett.
Look, I personally think it was a terrible idea to set up Season 3 of The Mandalorian in the Book of Boba Fett, but this is still Discount Jeremy complaining about the same thing he complained about in the first two sins, so I'm giving him this sin for being so repetitive and boring.
Thinking that replacing Ludwig Göransson's epic opening theme with audio from the episode will make me more likely to hang around for the Star Wars helmet orgy. Also, do not Google Star Wars helmet orgy. Or if you do, tell them TVSins sent you. They'll know why, and you'll get a discount.
Discount Jeremy makes a cringy orgy joke that isn't funny cliché.
Flaming, hammering, soldering. Excitement?
Not a whole lot, but still more than you'll find in any TVSins video.
You thought it, we all thought it! Which means the show probably knew exactly what it was doing by making this kid look like a young Din Djarin. Apparently Mando turning up to save the day can't be cool unless we don't see it coming.
So you're sinning the show for fooling you? Really just sounds like you're bitter about getting duped.
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors.
Brainwashing children. The decent thing would be to wait until he's an adult and can at least decide for himself that he wants to join your prohibitively controlling religion. I mean cult. Or creed. No, I really meant religion.
Yes, that's true. However, it's still not a sin of the episode. I mean, religions exist in the real world and people indoctrinate children into them all the time, so it's perfectly realistic.
Also, does he get another helmet after his next growth spurt? Because at this age, this one will last him maybe 2, possibly 3 days. Besides, part of the creed should be having to suffer through wearing hand-me-downs that are 5 sizes too big to jetpack practice. Now that's character building.
Also, presumably the Mandalorians have a bunch of kid-sized helmets stored away that they give to newly indoctrinated kids, and they get bigger ones as they grow until they've grown completely and get one of their own permanently. What's wrong with that? How is that a mistake of the episode?
From this moment on, I shall never remove my helmet.
Never? We've seen Mando take his helmet off in private to eat food and stuff, so what gives? Unless Din has inspired an offshoot of the creed which is even more restrictive.
Obviously, the implication is that they will never take their helmets off in the presence of other people. That part is simply left unsaid.
Holy sh! How quickly does this water go from barely knee-high to able to accommodate a giant fucking sea beast? And why didn't the armorer close off the beach weeks ago when Sheriff Brody warned her?
That fake-ass laugh at the beginning of the sin. Also, Discount Jeremy makes a Jaws reference that isn't a sin of the episode cliché. Also, do you think it's unrealistic for there to be an underwater drop-off? Really? Despite that being something that exists in the real world?
Also, why are we holding a religious ceremony at a body of water where ocean crocodiles randomly attack? Were there no other ponds or swimming pools available?
Maybe the Mandalorians just didn't know that these creatures lived here. After all, this is a makeshift ceremonial area.
Mandalorian?
Skip.
Okay, now the armorer is suddenly a dumbass too? I know she smoked some stormtroopers with her hammer and tongs back in season 1 and it was totally badass. But when this creature is showing you that bombs, flamethrowers, and lasers are ineffective, in what world is your next thought? Stop. Hammer time.
You cut out the part of the scene where she saves one of the Mandalorians who got knocked underwater. The only reason she ran into the water was to save him, and she only tried to use her hammer against the creature when she realized it had seen her and she didn't have enough time to get away from it.
If I visit the planet and I can bring you proof that I have bathed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore.
How's he going to do that exactly? Take a living waters bathing selfie? I'm sure it's possible, but I'd also insist on seeing that in private for like 3 to 5 minutes for Sins research.
Discount Jeremy has a boner.
I know I'm supposed to be impressed with this callback to the finale of Rebels, but honestly, I'm just annoyed I had to sit through 75 episodes of Rebels to get this reference.
Sinning a different show in this show? That's dumb.
Please state the purpose of your visit.
Here to meet an old friend.
If you accept a reason that vague, why even ask the question? This is literally the #1 response in the big book of what to say if you're here to do something shady. Especially weird considering he's here completely legitimately.
Have you ever been through real customs? They don't really care about how vague your answer is so long as it's not violent or against the law.
Nice to see the Slicotron droid make a return, but I don't really understand its benefit in the street market. Don't these kinds of markets have the produce ready to go? And even if you are chopping things up to order, it's hardly busy. Does he really need a droid to do it? I think you've passed peak droid when this is what you have them doing.
Bro, what? You asked why there's a droid cutting stuff when the guy could do it because it isn't busy. Ever heard of hiring employees? That's what this droid is, an employee. It makes the guy's job easier.
Marvel of the black lava canyons or soak in the geothermal springs.
And this protocol droid is a walking advertisement? Look, I know a free market will do whatever it's going to do, but any walking box with a speaker could do this. Why use discount C-3PO?
You say that any walking and talking box could do this job, but send a walking and talking object for doing this job. Do you see how stupid that is? I mean, he's literally saying that the episode made a mistake because this is a protocol droid rather than a box. Like, why?
The Belters are mining the asteroid fields at the edge of the system.
Belters, you say. Mining, you say. Well, that sure feels like an expansive storytelling possibilities you could rip off. I mean, be inspired by.
I don't get this kind of complaint. The Expanse prominently features that stuff while this show just briefly mentioned it. And honestly, it makes sense that it would be happening in this society based on context. But apparently it's automatically a sin because it's something that exists in another show? How? Why? There's literally no reason for counting that as a sin. It's completely arbitrary.
Grogu spinning himself in the chair is the most adorable abuse of the Force that I've ever seen. But it's still an abuse.
Discount Jeremy sins something he likes, cliche.
You're still running around here with the same little critter.
Mando just told you his name was Grogu, so stop treating him like a pointy-eared gerbil. Remember when Grogu used Force healing to stop you from being poisoned in the Season 1 finale? Exactly, so f*** you, Grief.
Is he sinning a character for being themselves again? Yes. Yes, he is.
I completed my quest. He returned to me.
Oh, you actually wanted to see that crucial bit of development? Well, you guessed it. That was in the almighty Book of Boba Fett too.
Discount Jeremy sins an expanded universe for being an expanded universe.
Having an entire bowl of just the orange ones.
Skip.
Hi, Magistrate. Apologies. Your timing couldn't be any worse.
Really? You're basically catching up with a friend and this is the worst timing? Does Karga never drop a poodoo while on duty?
That fake-ass laugh. Also, the guy who sends poop jokes whenever they happen in shows just made a terrible poop joke himself. Hypocrisy, ladies and gentlemen.
Just that there's someone here to see you. It can wait. But it's pirates.
A group of pirates is threatening a school and C-3PO interrupts them as if Karga's mom is bringing him his lunch instead of, oh, I don't know, saying something like, there are pirates trying to get into the school.
Yeah, it's a robot. Its sense of urgency is obviously just not as urgent as a person's would be.
And a side droid, don't you know who we are?
My first guess was that you're a de-aged pre-tentacle version of Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. I had my money on the X-Men being introduced before anything else, but I guess this was just as likely.
Discount Jeremy makes 2 pop culture references that aren't sins of the episode cliche.
Varro will become the first truly independent trade anchor in this entire sector.
A free trade system wanting to remain independent instead of allowing itself to be ruled by a government from Coruscant, you say. I feel like I watched 133 episodes from a series about this very conflict. What was it called? Bone stores, zone horns, cone tours.
Okay, so apparently making a reference to the Clone Wars is automatically a sin. Somehow, without any justification whatsoever.
I need him back.
We were lucky to recover any of his parts after he self-destructed.
Right? I mean, let's replay that explosion. And we're expected to believe that anything was left intact, let alone his entire torso, head, and a whole arm? Why was the entire explosion channeled to his legs? Also, the whole point of that explosion is...
Manufacturer's protocol dictates I cannot be captured.
And this looks pretty f***ing captured to me.
These 2 sins were actually valid, so remove a sin I shall.
Also, it is deceptively dark that the people of Navarro chose to make the hero's memorial out of his salvaged corpse instead of, investing in an actual statue.
Okay, and that's sinful because... Oh, it's not? Then why did you sin it? Besides, it's a robot, my guy, not a living being.
Fortunately, the helpful lights on IG-11's head give Mando just enough warning to get Grogu out of a potentially deadly situation that he shouldn't have been in to begin with.
Discount Jeremy points things out on the screen, cliche.
In the pilot episode, it took one shot to drop IG-11. Here, Mando hits him like 5 or 6 times with that same blaster, and he just keeps coming. Did the Season 3 writers not watch Season 1?
In the first episode, Mando hit IG-11 in the head, but he's hitting his body in this scene. You should really be asking yourself if you watched Season 1.
No, you!
We'll have IG back to his old self in no time.
IG goes from definitely only useful as a paperweight to definitely going to be able to help you on a dangerous mission to Mandalore so quickly that I have to wonder why we even bothered to blow him up in the first place.
I actually haven't seen the rest of Season 1 yet. As of writing this video, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, so I don't know how IG-11 plays into the future episodes of the season. But as for helping Mando on Mandalore, IG-11 doesn't have any part of that. He gets an astromech droid instead, so that contradicts your point about IG-11 suddenly becoming important for the exploration of Mandalore.
What if I find you the part?
Okay, now then, no problem. We did.
You guys, that's very different from
Mando, he said he can't fix it.
I can't fix it is not I can fix it if you get me the part. Galaxy far, far away, and yet mechanics are still gonna mechanic.
He admits that this is in line with something a mechanic would do, still sends it.
Bad baby.
Damn it, Favreau.
That fake-ass laugh.
Fast, Mandalorian.
I was going to send the Avast thing, but then I realized we've had an entire episode about pirates without a single cameo from Hondo Anaka. And I can't help but feel like if you're going to bring back Cad Bane, you got to bring in Hondo, or else this venture is no longer profitable.
I do love me some Hondo, but you would have sinned it if they had brought him back here, so I can't let you get away with that.
The internet, or at least the noisy part of it, seems to have a problem with the aesthetic of Gorian Shard here. Personally, I've always loved Fraggle Rock and would prefer this to CGI any day. Yes, internet, this sin is for you being too picky.
Sinning the show for something the internet did? That's dumb.
Wave that thing around, and they'll do whatever you say.
Also, so he should lead just because he won the Darksaber in a duel? Seems like dumb politics to me. Almost as bad as relying on strange women lying in ponds distributing swords as a system of government.
Discount Jeremy pretends he's never heard of religion.
Go home.
Did we really bring back Bo-Katan just to mope around in a castle and be mad at Mando? Because if so, I'd have rather had another few minutes of Grogu spinning himself in that chair.
She's mopey and pissy now, but next episode we get a fight scene with her. The point is that this is only the first episode of the season. Try to exercise a little patience for the story to build, my guy. Stop acting like a Gen Z bitch.
They're beneath the Civic Center in the city of Sundari.
The Civic Center? Mandalore had civic centers?
Yes.
حضل أحبك